Okay, I am back again with the next phase in my video series for studying for the Salesforce Developer 2 certification. This is, I believe, the fourth video. Working my way through a study guide, and the next, the last one we did was pretty fun. It was a flow that called Apex, and it did a variety of things within the job application app that I'm building just for the study guide. So there aren't a lot of features, but just satisfying the study materials and really learning the material. And this one is for Visualforce. And it was funny is because you don't see people doing a lot of Visualforce videos these days because it's been replaced kind of with Lightning Web Components, but it's still a heavy part of the developer 1 and 2 testing. Because when I took the developer 2 practice tests, I noticed how much Visualforce was mentioned, and I really don't build it at work on a regular basis, but it is something that I need to be familiar with, and some of the functionality is pretty interesting. So what I did here is I created a custom object called interview. As you know, we already have job application, job custom objects, and you can imagine how they're being used. I'm using the contact to represent the candidate. So I created a custom object, and I used the override feature in the Lightning buttons in order to replace the standard Lightning page with a Visualforce page. Now, originally that's what I did. All I did was, the regular override with a Lightning, with a Visualforce page that I created. And here you can see the content sources, interview, Visualforce page. And what's funny is that the first thing I did when I first created it, I used a standard controller, and I was able to get regular functionality, and I said, that's pretty cool. So, but working through my way through the study material, I realized that I needed more complicated material. And I remember these exams mentioning using controller extensions, and that's what I ended up having to use. So I created an Apex controller extension in order to perform some extra functionality. So we're going to go ahead and walk through the code real quick. This is the same code you just saw, the Visualforce page. It has a standard controller, which references the custom object interview. And we have an extension, which references an Apex class called interview controller. Now, originally, this extension was, I created this extension not knowing that I needed to extend the standard controller as opposed to just using a custom controller, which is why it's not named appropriately. The proper naming convention for the interview controller class that I have here should be interview extension or interview controller extension or something along those lines. But so I just wanted to clarify that this should be interview controller extension. And so there's that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interview controller class. So here I created the interview class that should have been called interview controller it should have been called interview extension instead of interview controller. It references the custom object in a private object, as instantiated as a private object. We use the get record, which I'm familiar with from the Lightning Web Components. And going back, so I guess this was prior to Lightning Web Components. They were using the get record feature to get the values, a quick way to get all the values for the current page. And basically what I do here is I create a new interview based on a successful outcome of a current interview. So I had 5 stages, 5 rounds of interviews. It seems like that's what jobs are asking for these days, 4 and 5 rounds. But so I just looked at so this logic on the status. If the current interview status is completed and the round is less than, not equal to 5, and there's some more logic that looks at making sure that it's less than, it's not equal to 5, meaning it's 1 through 4 rounds. So meaning that there could be a 5th, and it won't let you create another interview if there's already been 5 rounds. And it has to also make sure that the round is not null, because I've already I already messed up on that and threw an error. And Visualforce errors are not very elegant. It throws you to a page kind of like the 404 pages you get from websites. So I set the fields, basically just adding 7 days to the current date, setting the status as scheduled. Same interviewer, which wouldn't normally be, and maybe later on I'll have the opportunity to add some more functionality to search for a new interviewer, and you search for someone else on a team. Maybe you have an interview team and you look for someone else who wasn't this current interviewer. So there's a lot of opportunity. We'll see what the study guide brings. So I do a try and catch block to insert the new follow-up interview. So let's go take a look at how it works in the UI. I've already created one for Jack Rogers. Everybody's familiar with Jack Rogers. He's in everybody's org as a fake contact. But I'm going to go ahead and we'll say this is completed, and this was round 3. And let's go ahead and save that. And then click this button, which activates that custom controller that I just showed you. And there we go. It's been refreshed. We'll go to interviews, and it says round 4 here. Because I chose round 3 in the last one instead of, so I chose the wrong amount. But either way, it worked. I made a little bit of a mistake in the last one. I forgot to populate the round for the follow-up interview. So I went back to the Apex, created this this expression here that, well, I already had the new round because I was including it in the name of the interview. So the interview name, I was calling candidate name plus round plus interview round. But I forgot to populate the round field with the interview round for that follow-up interview. So let's go back, take a look at that. And right now we're on round 2. It's been completed, and we're going to create follow-up interview. Let's go back, and here's round 3. So now it works. It's real development. There was an issue that I forgot, but it works properly, and obviously there are a lot more details that could be added, a lot more functionality, especially after testing with someone who actually does interviews. Like I said, populating from an interview team or a group. There are so many different things that can be done, but this is just showing the basic functionality of a Visualforce page, the use of the standard controller and a controller extension that references some custom Apex. So that's it for this one. I'm looking forward to doing the next one. I appreciate you sticking through this and my mistake, but it's been a lot of fun. So thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.